Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Colonel Comics Reads. This time, we're looking at Batman number 51. So, let's look at the cover here to begin with, and we can see that it's actually not too bad, but we'll get into that a little bit later when we start talking about diversity tips. So, let's open up the book. Of course, it's done by Tom King, Lee Weeks, and Elizabeth Breitweiser. So, let's go. So we open the book here with a bit of a white male power fantasy. He's coming through the book here, having some phallic symbols thrust in his face, and that's a little bit too exciting for me, so we won't stay on this page for too long. But of course we can see the patriarchy being smashed here, and that's good already. So yeah, that's a good look into the start of the book. As we come through, we can see here that he starts, again, the power fantasy continues with all of the diverse people here going, ooh, is that Bruce Wayne? Is that Bruce Wayne? Is that Bruce Wayne? Yeah, that's a little too much. Yeah, we can see here that Batman is beating up Mr. Freeze for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, he's only a symbol of white hate. And I kind of thought Batman played along with that. But of course, this book focuses on Bruce Wayne for some reason. I couldn't tell you why. I mean, the book is named Batman. Pretty sure it's Batman on the cover. But, yeah, you know, it's up to Tom King, I suppose. I mean, he did that fantastic thing with the wedding. And, yeah, couldn't be more behind that. So, let's keep going. He's in jury duty here. And, oh, look at that. That is some white suffering. Great. Great stuff. Now, we need more of that. We need more of the patriarchy being smashed and brought down through the judicial system. So I'm all for that. And so we go through. He gets accepted, of course, into the jury. And we come to one of the most problematic pages of the book. So we can see here that this is basically 12 angry white people. And that's, you know, a little unacceptable. I mean, look, I will admit there are some slight token diversity here. I mean, we've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3 there, 4, and maybe an Asian or 2. So, look, it's still mostly whites. It's still mostly whites, okay? So, let's not get too focused on the token elements of diversity, when we could have real diversity by having them all be black. Let's be real. Okay, let's go on. So, yep, more Batman here, and gratuitous ab shot on the side here. We get to see him walking through. Look, I'm already a little bit hot and bothered, so let's not stay on that page for too long now. Come through, Teen Titans Go, some nice purple. I can always get behind that. Sparing dialogue on this page from Dick, and of course not the Dick that we would really like, of course, being Cecil. Just want to make that clear. Cecil is the only Dick that I want. Yeah, but no, this is Dick Grayson. But yeah, they've toned down the dialogue on this page, and the less that white males are speaking and propagating the patriarchy, all the better. All the better. All right. So we can see that the case starts being pulled apart here. Of course, now I believe this is called fridging, something like that. All the women are being killed. Come on, it's 2018. Let's get over that. I believe men are the ones that are about to be killed, huh? Let's really bring it up to the current year, people. Okay, come through. Batman starts being, his case starts being pulled apart, and we get a very triggering page here. It's just 9 panels of whiteness and orange, as Jim is forced to admit that Batman is not a real detective and is not actually licensed to do autopsies. Yeah, shocking. Yeah. Funny that it's been holding up in the court of law for this long and nobody else just tried to fight this. It's kind of weird that we're just seeing this now for the very first time. Okay, let's go on. So we can see here they're sitting down to a nice soy meal, and as of course with every soy meal, we have to go and excuse ourselves because we will literally bust at the table otherwise. Which is kind of weird here for a white male as well. He's starting to use manners. So that's the very first time that I've ever seen that happen. Everyone's just extremely rude to me for some reason, when I'm quite polite. So I don't know why that could be. They're all bigots, I guess. I mean, that's normally how I open conversations. So, yeah. Now, he excuses himself. They're all quite shocked, naturally. And whilst I would like to stay on this conversation here to see what the hell happens with this shark of a white man, I assume he's going to be berated by these 3 brave, diverse women. Yeah, we don't stay there. We go with Bruce into the bathroom. So that's not too bad so far. But, however, he starts pulling a urinal off the wall in a soy-induced fit of rage and smashes it against the wall. Ah! Starts screaming. Now, I tried this once. I had my soy. I went to the bathroom. I was about to explode. However, when I got to the urinal, I slipped, cracked my tooth, and got a mouthful of a soy urinal cake. That's what I got. So 6 months later in hospital, and here I am. So let's go on. All right, Mr. Freeze, almost dead. Beat a confession out of him, Batman did. Yes, so Bruce is feeling a little bit conflicted about that. Good God. What the hell is that? That is triggering central. Double page spread of whiteness, tearing himself out of the page. I don't need that in the morning. And, of course, he admits it there, admits killing the women. He's shocked by that. He starts admitting that, yeah, although he's fought Batman before, he's innocent this time because he was afraid that Batman was going to kill him. And when whiteness comes through in the night, who can say no to that? And we come to the actual, where the jury starts deciding the fate of Mr. Freeze. And we come through, and a brave decision here by Bruce. Yeah, he actually starts to say that he's not guilty for some reason. I guess it's that white guilt made manifest. And, yeah, great stuff. Claps for Batman. Actually admitting his privilege. So, that's basically the end of this book here. So, let's flip back to the start and go through some diversity tips. Now, as we look at the cover here, I can already say this is actually pretty good. We only get very minimal whiteness through here. The rest is black. Great. Alright, let's go on. Now, let's tone down the phallic symbols, shall we? Let's get rid of that. I don't need any more of that in my life, I should say. More, perhaps, of this. The patriarchy being taught a lesson or two. Less power fantasies as we come through here. Oh, that's Bruce Wayne. Yeah, look, enough of that. We already know that he's quite famous and quite popular. We don't need it reinforced. We don't need to propagate that anymore in our society. Okay, so we come through. Part of the more of that, please. Let's just show Victor Freeze being beaten up the whole time. I think that'll be for a great comic. And instead, we get to sit here in a courtroom with a whitey. All right. Don't need to see that, quite frankly. I mean, you know, who the hell else watches people when they sleep? Not me, that's for sure. Okay, rooftop is fine, I suppose, with sparing dialogue. I mean, you know, what more can you ask for there, really? The women being killed, as I said before, let's make them men, you know? Why not? Why do they have to be women? It's never explained throughout the book, I don't think. I mean, I barely read it, so I assume it's not explained. Yeah. So make them men, please. Next. Good lord, let's tone this down a bit, shall we? Show some different camera angles at least. Maybe put him in shadows. That'd be great. They did that with Richard C. Meyer recently. Put him back in shadows at the end of that interview. Let's do that here. Now, let's just stick on this conversation, shall we? Why do we need to follow Bruce into the bathroom for his soy-induced hysteria? Why not follow this table here, this conversation? It looks like they were having a good time talking about, about Batman. Okay. I assume they were going to be talking about, you know, their troubles, their oppression. I guess that's fine, then. I guess that's fine. I didn't read that part, you know. Yeah, I didn't read that. And here we get some more white rage. I don't need any more of that. Again, get enough of that from my father. So, yeah, that's a little redundant, I think. Yeah, that's okay. The rest of the book isn't too bad. Look, I kind of addressed this before. Let's just get rid of this. If I wasn't so afraid of actually breaking a fingernail under this thing, I would tear this page out. And this page, too. Come on. Supergirl? Actually, replace the previous pages with Supergirl. I know we've got the one ad, but just like go to like a triple page spread, perhaps. That could work. Yeah, more publicity for Supergirl. Now we come through here. Yeah, that's okay. We got the female judge, of course. She looks a little diverse. That's good. That's good. Claps for her. And for this final page here, again, mostly whites. Let's get some more diversity in here, please. Our courtrooms, of course, they're, you know, to be judged by your peers. Now, Victor Fries is a white man, so his peers are subhuman, so we can't quite have that. But the next best thing is more diversity. So that'd be great. Okay, guys, that's pretty much the end of this review. I'll quickly spin by a couple of other comics that I won't be reviewing, just for whatever reason. They just don't quite make the cut. So let's pop that off to the side and pull up our next one. So Thor number 3, won't be doing that, but the cover, of course, this is going to be the future of the white man kneeling and begging the goddesses of death, women, to survive, basically. So put that to the side. Next one, Action Comics number 1000. This is my waking nightmare, a white man rushing at me as I come awake screaming. And last one, here we see every time I log into Twitter. Alright everyone, catch me next time on the next episode of Colonel Comics Reads! Colonel Comics, away!